Colin Brunetti wrote a blog post about potty training. In it, she said, conventional westernized baby-wearing wisdom states that the best time to potty train is sometime after 18 months, the time which a child can begin to control bladder and bowel function and respond to parent-led training. She continued, for instance, according to the Mayo Clinic, potty training should begin when children can communicate things like a desire to go and an interest in the potty, and remain dry for a period of time. Further on in her post, she points out that this trend didn't begin until the 1950s, and it was recommended by a pediatrician who was being paid for his recommendations. As a result, many people now feel that pull-ups are necessary to the potty training endeavor. I want to share with you my experience after helping to potty train about 20 to 30 children over a 5-year span. One of the ideas behind pull-ups is that they are a tool to encourage children to begin using the potty on their own. They are fashioned with the idea that children can practice pulling them up on their own, and some brands are formulated to try to help children recognize when they are wet. Most brands make a variety of designs to suit the interests of each toddler. They were created out of the belief mentioned in Colin Brunetti's post. Potty training should begin when a child is old enough to control their pottying needs. Pull-ups and diapers appear to be made out of similar materials. In both cases, they are made to be absorbent enough to contain their contents. In the last few years, there have been attempts to make pull-ups more potty training friendly by making it so that the child wearing it can feel when it's wet. However, it is still absorbent enough to prevent a mess outside itself. Pull-ups are designed to be pulled up, but they are pretty stiff and unforgiving. Underwear, on the other hand, is much easier to manipulate into the position required. Let's imagine a piece of furniture and water, trying to move those two objects. Which one is easier to move, the furniture or the water? Which one is more forgiving, the furniture or the water? Which one moves better around other objects, the furniture or the water? The answer to all of those questions is the water. Pull-ups and underwear are much the same way when it comes to little children. It is much easier for the child to manipulate the underwear into the position needed than it is for them to manipulate the pull-up. Because of its stiffness, it is very difficult for them to move, given the fact that they are still developing their muscles and motor skills. In my experience, children who went from diapers to underwear potty trained much faster and had less difficulty with the concept. 2 boys I helped potty train really illustrated this principle for me. One, when he was almost 4 years old, still was in pull-ups and had been for over a year. He had no desire to go to the bathroom. He would just go right in his pull-up because he felt that a pull-up was the same thing as a diaper, and it was no problem for him. The other child, on the other hand, went straight from diapers to underwear, and in the time from when he was potty trained at three months before his 3rd birthday until he moved up to the older class 3 months later, he had 1 accident in our class in that whole entire span. He had an easier time dealing with the concept of using the bathroom because it was all introduced at once, and we helped him to focus on that rather than trying to wait for him to do it by himself. Children are very resistant to change. They like order and knowing what is going to happen next. It's very stressful for them to endure even the smallest of changes. Introducing pull-ups for some children can cause confusion and frustration because they go from their regular diapers to the pull-ups, and now you're asking them to sit on a giant bowl of water that makes scary noises. And then to top it all off, when they actually start doing what you're asking them to do with this giant bowl of water, now you put them in underwear, which is another change added on to the trauma that they're already going through with these changes. When a child is frustrated and scared, they begin to act out. As a result, it may take them longer to grasp the idea of potty training. Then to add another change into the mix with adding the underwear can cause some children to have trust issues. It is my hope that we can see pull-ups for what they really are, more expensive diapers. For children who are mostly potty trained, they are great for bed and nap times. If worn during the day, they can easily become the equivalent of diapers, hindering and prolonging the potty training process. Pulling them up is not as easy as their name would make it seem. When it's time to potty train, skipping the pull-ups is much more effective. It will mean more cleanup in the short term, but foregoing the pull-ups will mean quicker and better results in the long term.